So welcome to the third and final presentation for this module. In this presentation, we'll talk about the other social media outlets that are available to you beyond Facebook and Twitter. Generally, these will have less penetration, or there'll be a different type of social media, and I'll go through each of them and talk about how you can best use them for a strategic reason. So first, with a very, very, very high adoption rate, we'll talk about YouTube. It is beyond just social media, obviously, it's a video repository. So it's less about an interaction between two people and more of a broadcast medium. So some people will consider this to be social media. Some people will be not, but it's often grouped in. So I'm just going to talk about the highlights of it. Obviously, everybody knows what YouTube is at this point. So how you would go about using it and kind of the demographics, and then also what are the metrics that you can ascertain about the videos and learn about how to create good digital content, which is of course what we've been focusing on. So quick YouTube stats. There are more than 1 billion unique users that visit YouTube each month. So that is absolutely, high penetration. It's about 1/7 of the world. More than 6 billion hours of video are watched every month on YouTube. That's almost an hour for every person on Earth. 100 hours of YouTube videos are uploaded every minute. And interestingly enough, mobile makes about 40% of YouTube's global watch time. And obviously it's the place for YouTube uploads, creating embeddable videos, and video discovery on the web. So when you manage your own YouTube page, when you log in, you'll get some very interesting information. So when I log on to Drexel's account, because I'm an account manager there, I could show you what some of these things look like. So you get your top 10 videos, and what you'll be able to do is see the number of views. But in addition to that, what's really interesting is you're going to get estimated minutes watched. So you actually begin to see how many seconds people and how many minutes people watch each specific video for. So beyond your views, one of the things you can tell here is, say on average people watch 1 minute of a 3-minute video, but I have a lot of views, then that's telling me that perhaps my video should have been shorter, that perhaps I lost some interest elsewhere. So you can see how well people are completing the viewership of your videos, and you'll be able to create content that tells the whole story arc in the time that people on average spend watching your videos. So that's a handy little tool, especially with the estimated minutes watched. Another thing that you get to see is when you click on a video itself, you'll be able to see how people watched that specific video. So you'll be able to see an embedded player on other websites. So people have clicked the embed button and taken a piece of code about your video, placed it on their own website, and you'll see what percentage of views you got from that. The YouTube watch page, so on YouTube itself, mobile devices, the YouTube channel page, so if people are watching it from, say, the Drexel channel page instead of clicking on the video and going to the videos page. And then I don't know what YouTube Other is, perhaps they don't either. And then an external app, so another YouTube player. Now what's also interesting is when you click on the embedded player on other websites, you'll also see what websites contributed to the most amount of views here. So here is a list of all the places that embedded a specific video and how much viewership we got from those pages. So that's also interesting in terms of if you wanted to do outreach to them later, or you just wanted to see where did we get these views from. So beyond that, you know what YouTube is at this point, but I just wanted to give you some handy tools that you have available to you when you create digital content as a producer. I also wanted to quickly talk about LinkedIn. Perhaps most of you have a LinkedIn page. Some quick stats about LinkedIn and what it's used for. There are 259 million users, 84 million in the United States, and it grows at a rate of about 38% each year very steadily. Obviously, it's a resume and networking platform. What's also good is it's great for business-to-business companies. So Facebook and the other social media pages that we've been talking about are very, very good for if you're a business, to going to consumers. LinkedIn is great for more of that insider stuff. So if you're a business and you're seeking to advertise to other businesses, then LinkedIn is a really great platform for that. There are generally three types of users when it comes to LinkedIn. The first is top-level executives, and they usually use LinkedIn for industry networking, about 22%, and promoting their businesses, about 20%. Middle management professionals use LinkedIn to stay in touch with other people, about 24% of them, and industry networking, 20%. And then entry-level employees primarily use LinkedIn for job searches, 24%, and coworker networking, 23%. So when you log into LinkedIn, LinkedIn is very much trying to be, in a way, a little bit similar to Facebook. You'll get kind of that stream that you would normally get as well. Now, this is where I'm saying that it's really helpful for positioning. So say you are a company and you want to position to people who are have a certain job category, then it's a great way to do it. So kind of this industry recognition, and also, like I said, that business-to-business connection. And then all of you, of course, know that it's a resume platform as well, where people can check you out and you can network. So moving on to a couple other social media platforms, I wanted to talk about Instagram, which is steadily rising. There you've got 130 million active users monthly, and 40 million photos are uploaded per day, and about 1,000 comments per second. Helps you to take interesting mobile photographs. And in this case, even though it's very image-based, when you upload, hashtags are really important for helping users search content. Because it's a visual medium, and because photos traditionally aren't searchable unless you add data to it, using hashtags and having good text that accompany your photos rather than just putting up a photo is really good and really helpful for people to discover and know obviously what your photo is about in addition. And the cultural norms of Instagram is that images are very artsy and indie because you have these filters, because you're trying to get interesting and unique views and perspectives. Something that would not cater to the norms and the culture of Instagram are straight up advertisement that somebody would upload to their Instagram page. It doesn't fit with the vibe of Instagram, and that's something you want to consider on Instagram, but then also all other social media platforms. How do you fit with the culture and the norms so that you feel like your content belongs there? So rather than just posting the same thing on every social media page, how can you structure it differently? How can you reinvent similar content so that it fits with the norms and the culture of that medium? So this is what an entity's Instagram page will usually look like. You'll get to see about the page. You'll see the number of posts, the number of people that are followers, and the number of people that you're following as well. So metrics on Instagram are a little bit different. Success is really based on the photos that you've received, and comments seem to be a little bit less frequent. So it's an easy way to see how your photos resonate with your audience. You'll get to see things like the number of people that liked it and then the number of people that commented on it. And here's another example of people commenting on a photo here. And one of the things that in particular it's really good at is setting a scene. And then also you can get some fun interactions. So here's a picture that we took of, it's called Puppy Pawlooza at Drexel. And the idea is during finals week, people can de-stress by hanging out with some cute animals for a few hours. And this was kind of our little selfie with somebody taking a picture of themselves and a dog, and it did pretty well. So once again, unique perspectives, kind of artsy, indie. You don't want it to seem too corporate, and you want it to seem fresh and interesting. And you can see here we also used some hashtags here to make things more searchable. Now, moving away from artsy and indie is Pinterest, which is fairly the opposite. And so let's talk about that. For Pinterest, it started in March of 2010. It's got 48.7 million users, 16% of the US users, and it's only about 1% fewer than Twitter. So in a short amount of time, Pinterest has gotten to the level of viewership that Twitter has. And what it allows you to do is create online collections of things that people love and that inspire them. And it usually falls into things like food, fashion, home renovation and decor, hobbies, and interests. So I'll take you through a couple boards and show you how people go and create different collections, and then what can be in the collections, and kind of what the cultural norms are for Pinterest. So here's an example of a page called Wedding Chicks, and what people do is you create a board with a certain theme. So what are the different themes that you can have for weddings? Well, perhaps freebies and free printables, a shop, do-it-yourself projects, cakes and desserts, bouquets, fashion, gowns, shoes. And what they've done is they have found things that inspire them, that interest them, and they've sorted them into these different themes. And then once you click on one of these collections, you'll begin to see different items. So here is one created by BuzzFeed Food. It's called Bacon, 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 and who doesn't like bacon? And all the different types of things that you could have and consume that are based in bacon. One is sweet and spicy bacon coated with Nutella, which sounds delicious. Then they have something funny, which is people trying to have so many bacon products. So it's 17 foods that failed so hard they almost won, including bacon soda. So they've put together different items that relate to this category. Another one is through Esquire. Here is the Esquire gift guide, and they've collected different things that almost make you feel a little envious, which is kind of a theme a little bit on Pinterest. And they have collected them here. And you'll notice that it says, you can see pinned from on some of these. Sometimes they put price tags, but the idea is when you go here, you can then click on it, and then you'll be taken to that product page where you can purchase it or learn more about it. So that's the gist of Pinterest. To talk about some questions that are raised when you're posting something on Pinterest, what are the things that you want to consider? One is, does my picture feed the consumer dream? Did I give my boards clever, creative titles? Does every photo include a hyperlink? Another question is, could this pin double as an ad or act as an accompanying photo to an article featured in Top Flight magazine? Is this image easily categorized so people don't have to look too hard where to repin it on their boards? And this is from an author named Gary Vaynerchuk. He is the author of a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, which is about social media. It's also a great book that talks about tricks of the trade, pros and cons, and good examples and bad examples for social media. So it's a highly recommended book. But these are some of the questions that he came up with that I thought were really great. So that is a very quick overview of some of the other social media platforms out there. I wanted to cover them, do the due diligence on there, and then what you would use it for, what the viewership is like, and then how you would structure posts with each of those. So I wanted to conclude that, and your assignment this week is social media post authorship. What you're going to do, and this is described in the module, is you're going to find 5 different pieces of long-form content. So blog posts, perhaps YouTube videos, and what you're going to do is you're going to take those, identify 5 of them, like I said, that you think would be very conducive to social media engagement. The theme this week has been, how do you create engaging content so that social media outlets reward you with followers and with the frequency at which your posts are shown in something like a Facebook newsfeed. So identify 5 long-form pieces of content that you think are the most conducive to social media engagement by your core audience. So you will find these. You're going to go to your campaign entities, websites, their YouTube pages, and find 5 pieces of content that you think would resonate. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write a Facebook post and a Twitter post for each of those. So it'll be 10 pieces of social media content altogether, with the tricks, the trades, and the techniques that I've overviewed here. You're going to create that in a Word document, and then you're going to post that to a discussion board, and then you're going to choose what you think are the most successful for each of your group members. And this will give you practice in terms of identifying pieces of content that you think will be successful on social media, and then writing those posts, and then seeing which ones you think will be most conducive to engagement. So I look forward to seeing what you are going to choose and then how you structure your social media posts to create the most engagement. So I will see you on the boards.